Welcome back.
More emails.
Yes, because we all love emails. We still got 8 more, so we didn't really get through a lot because they're so long. Curious about the term makbanok, I wanted to find out what it meant. I found the following definition on the site. This expression comes from the Hebrew makbanok, which means flesh leaves the bones. It was first used as a rallying cry by comrades of architect Hiram, who built the Solomon Temple in Jerusalem when they discovered their master savagely murdered and swore to avenge him. Ever since, across the century, Hiram's avengers' cry has become the symbol of the people's battle against the tyranny of kings. The ritual murder of Hiram, the quest for his corpse by 9 workmen, and his burial already served as a central initiation rite of the Templar Knights in the Middle Ages. They were raised again by Freemasons in the 18th century and survived to this day. You can also read on this site an interesting theory about the temple's survival in Italy, the Dante hypothesis. Latest news. The Phoenix's revelations contained on the CD reaffirm the conclusions reached by police officers handling the case. Thanks to these clues, we've attempted to develop a chronology of events since the Volker case in 1975. This chronology should prove useful to everyone helping decipher the CD, and especially those who didn't follow the earlier investigation. It includes certain facts detailed on our site while putting them into perspective in relation to recent events. Reminder, in 1975, Peter Volker mysteriously vanished in Greece. He was a renowned international researcher and specialist in ancient languages, including Coptic. This disappearance fueled a number of rumors. In fact, Volker admitted possession of a treasured manuscript discovered in Nag Hammadi, a codex which didn't figure in any official inventory and whose existence was known by only a handful of collectors after its discovery in 1945. Some have speculated on the fact that it was an unknown apocryphal gospel. Others have even claimed to have heard Volker speak of the testament of Jesus himself. As far as Jack Lorsky was concerned, he was convinced Volker had been assassinated by Manus Domini, a secret society and armed wing of the church. Manus Domini was allegedly ordered to get possession of the codex to prevent its contents from being made public. Given the controversy brought about by the publication of the Gospel according to Thomas, also discovered at Nag Hammadi, we can understand why. Chronology. The years 2002 and 2003. In several European countries, the Phoenix assassinated 12 members of the Manus Domini organization. He was certainly attempting to gain possession of famous Codex 14, which according to his often confused statements, he believed was magic and could enable him to create a philosophical stone and thus attain eternal life. December 2005. After many months of searching, he ultimately tracked down Gilbert Mason, the organization's mastermind, at its headquarters in New York. He savagely murdered his secretary, Marilyn Evans, before torturing and killing the organization's head. Strangely enough, on that day, he embarked on a new modus operandi, severed limbs, cutting up mouths, etc. It's likely that Mason, under torture, told the Phoenix where he could find Codex 14. In March 2006, the Phoenix was chased to Andalusia. This is where he savagely murdered 3 members of a secret society called the Faithful of Love. It's also likely that he managed to get his hands on the Codex, even if the Faithful of Love, despite through questioning by the police, continued to deny ever having possessed the Codex. Alas, capturing the trophy doesn't appear to have put an end to the serial killer's Maccabee impulses. On the contrary, it seems to have exacerbated them, as revealed by the savagery with which he continues to murder innocent people. Reading the CD will surely help us better understand what new mission he set for himself and to arrest him before he encounters new victims along the way. Good luck, Steve Webbing. Steve Webbing, or whatever. Okay. Manus Domini is a pretty tough bunch. I was convinced that the 12 murders committed at the organization's headquarters by the Phoenix in 2002 and 2003 would have decimated the group. The Phoenix may have taken his time locating the group's American branch, but appears he was successful. We must have known what his first 12 victims did not. Manus Domini had failed to recover the Codex. By bringing about Volker's disappearance in 1975, they may have managed to silence him, but they failed to destroy all possibility that its contents might one day be made public. In celebration of this fact, the Phoenix has chosen to embark on a new ritual. However, this change in ritual is weird. Does this happen often with serial killers? Perhaps David Marcus has light to shed on the subject. I've come across a book by René Guénon devoted entirely to Dante's Esotism. The abbreviation FSKIPFT figures on a medallion bearing Dante's image kept at the Museum of Vienna. People have always associated these letters to the 7 virtues dear to Pisanello: fidelity, charity, prudence, etc., but Guénon is convinced that these letters have an esoteric meaning, which he explains thusly: Fide, Sancte, Kadosh, Imperialis, Principatus Frater Templaris, which means, concerning Dante, a kadosh of the holy faith. Kadosh is a Hebrew word which means saint or consecrated, still used in high-level masonry. A prince of the empire and above all a Templar brother. This abbreviation seems to provide concrete proof of a link between Dante and the Templars. Oh, we're almost done. 3 more. I don't know if you've come across the site in your research into the Faithful of Love. I found interesting and documented commentary on the secret society. In particular, among its initiates, you'll find a list of well-known figures. Among them, I was taken aback to find Giordano Bruno, for whom we know the Phoenix bears a deep affinity. Does this mean Giordano Bruno was initiated into the Templar secrets? This would shed new light on the real reason behind his death sentence by the Inquisition. Like Jacques de Molay, Bruno was burned at the stake. Best, Christine. Oh boy. Hello, a certain number of elements led us to think we're dealing with the Phoenix himself in his 2003 manifestation, but we can't say for sure at this point. What's the link between the different victims? The targets keep changing and the victims this time seem to be innocent, but in the perceptions that arise from the Phoenix's morbid rationalization, both logical and irrational, the human faces of his figures of evil have no meaning. To the degree to which we're sensitive to people's diversity, he views matters abstractly. Even the bodies are derealized and manipulated like partial objects. A rift separates life from its appearance. The new series of murders beginning in the United States in December 2005, 2 known victims, and then in Spain, 3 known victims, has ushered in a new ritual we need to interpret. This change in modus operandi is rare, but has occurred with certain serial killers when under the influence of another individual. The mutilation of corpses, where each time a limb is severed, suggests that a new idea has entered the Phoenix's mind. Everyone knows that the boundary between the normal and the pathological in the mental sphere is tenuous. The dismembered body, the body becoming dismembered, the disintegration of the organs, this fantasy remains in normal time a nightmarish representation, if not maintained completely unconsciously. It is rare for this to become the object of chronic anguish. When the Phoenix resorts to criminal acts, his fantasy having become delusional and invaded his field of consciousness overwhelms his constant containment mechanisms and unleashes psychosis. Quite literally, he is projected, realized in the very act, as if to rid himself of it, but without this result, quite the opposite. The mouth of each victim has been enlarged by slicing the corners of the lips. This element of the ritual holds an archaic symbolic function. Orality is a newborn's first mode of sensation, and it's through the mouth that everything first occurs, food and pleasure. Their fixed grins are also reminiscent of the split corners of unappeased lips, as described by French poet Lachampt. The primary mechanism of the double operation, the one unconscious and negation of anguish and the other, surgical, of dismembering, is truly a rift. The victim's body is pierced from 2 opposing points of view, where one tries to negate the other, but the message remains caught in one's throat. Careful, understanding is the first step to approval. Spinoza. Keep it on your toes, David Marcus. Oh boy, here we go. Did you get the profiler's email? He seems a little shady to me, don't you think so? Bringing up the oral wounds without even seeing a possible link to the ancient ritual seems rather hasty to me. Well, you know I'm no fan of shrinks. Thanks, Christine, for your explanations. I was losing it a bit there. There, we're done. Still says I've got one flagged, but... No, there we go. Okay, so finally it's time... Oh, let me get my password again. Where is it? What happened to it? Oh, yeah, it's 2 pages long of emails. There we go. YM Cure. Let's get going. Yes, run the program. It ain't gonna bite. Most likely. Connection in progress. YM Cure. Confirm. So we've got 5 puzzles to do. There.
Okay.
Just do that one. Come on, I'm sure you're dying now to find Jess and Sharon again. They are really cute. They are really cute, don't you think?
We leave Boston en route for Vermont. Thanks to directions provided by the sheriff's office, we reached the cabin where Adrian's identity papers were found.
It's not an easy road. Look at that big rock right there.
Oh. Careful. Feels like very far. Maybe he had a car or a motorbike or... I mean, how did he get into town to buy food and drink?
You know,
He was a normal human being, even if he's a bit strange.
Is this it?
Oh. Maybe. Okay. Let's park and take a look. Oh. What's that?
it's a drawing.
Strange. You might want to shut the door after you. No? Sleeping bag's still here. This place is a mess. How could he have lived? Shez, check this out. He used to read this.
Yes, what is it?
It's a Marco magazine.
It looks like the drawing that's on the door, right?
Yeah.
Is this?
Film this.
No,
It says something on the back. I'm not very good at pronouncing Latin, but Deus nobiscum quis contra.
what does it mean?
I don't know, I didn't take Latin in school.
I did, but I forgot.
Look, there are those pictures here. The Gnostic Gospels from Jesus to Christ.
Oh my God, what was he doing? I don't know.
All these books and...
Is it? Wow.
Hey.
Show it. Put it in front of the window so I can see it better.
Wow.
What is this?
I know. I'm gonna look around a little bit.
Hey, Jess.
Find something?
Yep. What is it?
Transfer for money. I can't read the destination. It's been like scratched out. Apart from QC.
How much?
Look, it's from Adrian. Adrian Moses. How much? $600?
It's a lot of money.
I hope he's not in any kind of trouble. I'm gonna take this with us. Come on, Sharon.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, at the end of this road, Jess and Sharon discovered their next destination. Its name will open Food Tech to you. Okay, well, we're basically at 10 seconds remaining, so
Laters.
we shall see you next part.